Good morning, grandkids. Well, it's time for another reading of Chapter 30 from Dorkly and the Kingdom Far, Far Away. This is after the battle on the beach and the walls with pirate ship guys. Bannister continued on across the beach toward the king's ships. Now that he had left Dupree in good hands, he approached the ships with a smile on his face and looked up at the merriment on board. He wasn't going to climb up there. He had too much to do, but he hollered up at the captain. "How goes it, Captain?" "All's well, Bannister. Hardly any damage to repair. One cannoneer injured, but being well taken care of. Could have been worse." Good, Bannister called back. "We lost some good men, but not as bad as it could have been if those pirates had been more seasoned fighting men. Glad you're doing okay. Got to get back to my men," and he turned away as the captain snapped a salute. My eye itches. Sorry, guys. Dupree comes walking through the court doors, his shoulder patched up, with his arm resting in a sling. He was heading for his spire and a hot meal and some bed rest. But he stopped and sees the king across the way in his sitting room, his elbows on the table, holding his head in his hands. Fearing he had been fighting on the beach and gotten injured, he hurried over to him, touching his father on the shoulder. "Dad, do you need a physician? I'll get a hold of one." No. It's Gorman. He died. Dorkly is with him." He heaved himself up from his chair. "Walk over there with me?" he asked. "Of course, Father." He took the king's arm to steady him, and they moved off toward Gorman's spire. Conley then stood by his bed, looking down at his old friend with his eyes closed in death. Dorkly was sitting in a chair beside the bed, with a tear rolling down his cheek, holding on to his father's hand. The three of them grieved, looking at Gorman's sunken cheeks and wasted away body. Conley glanced at one of the physicians, and the doctor said it seems that some disease was eating him up inside. It had spread so that he just seemed to give in to it and let go. He was too tired to fight anymore. The king nodded at him, then turned to Dorkly. "Son, I will take care of things for you. You should go take care of anything that you need to do. In the morning, I'll want you by my side at the throne as I announce his death to the people." The king turned and left the room, a tear slipping down his own cheek. He stopped to instruct the physicians about the service for tomorrow evening and to have the body ready. Dorkly decided to finish any business that he had in Binderbong and Longport. At the outer town gate, Dorkly doesn't even look up at the guards, but goes straight to the stables and saddles Cheesy. He rubs his soft nose and speaks to him, his voice low. "Sorry, Cheesy. I don't know how many times we'll get to spend. I don't know how much free time I'll be getting. I won't let you forget me, though." He walks Cheesy out of the stables and down the roadways along the beach, looking for his friend. He's glad to see that most of the repairs have been taken care of. He comes to the tiny house of Boots' family and finds Boots sitting outside repairing a chicken coop. Dorkly smiles and says, "Hi, Boots. Glad to see you're home. Glad to see your home looks better than it did before. Praise to the king. Yes, it does. What are you doing out here, my friend? I need some coffee, kids. I'm sorry. Oh, God, that's good. And coffee, hot, good. Well, out seeing friends, saying some goodbyes, and disposing of some property. Also, to let a couple of friends, such as yourself, know that my father passed away, and that I have to take his place at court and whatever else he did for the king. Whoa, that's sad, my friend. The rumors have been spreading around. Really sorry, Boots said. Thanks, man. I probably won't get to come by much. Wanted to let you know, though, so you won't think that I'm forgetting about you. I'll be by when I can. And he smiled at Boots. They shook hands, and Dorkly turned and slowly walked on with Cheesy. Eventually he got on his horse, and they turned up the road to the west toward Binderbong and Longport. As they got close to Binderbong, they sauntered down to ride along the beach. The sea was calm today, with a blue, cloudless sky overhead. He was going to miss his rides along the beach. He was going to have to spend a lot of time in his secret room from now on, keeping prepared for his new job at court as court wizard. He felt frightened and wary, but was determined to be the best that he could be. He didn't want to let the king down, or his dad's memory. He finally spotted the girls on the beach outside of Binderbong at the job of washing clothes or other things. He figured they would be there. He didn't see the girl that he had wanted to pursue, though. He stopped the girls and got off of Cheesy and had to listen to their giggling. He wondered if they would ever stop doing that. So irritating. He said, "Is Cindy around? Maybe in town shopping?" One of the giggling girls said, "No, sire. She's gone to stay in Longport for a couple of weeks with relatives up there." "You don't know where that might be at, up there?" "No, sire," one girl said, "but I think she's taking care of a sick relative." "Thanks," Dorkly said. "Maybe I'll run into her. But in case I don't, would you give her a message from me? My father, the court wizard, passed away, and I'm going to be taking his place in court. I probably won't get to be here much anymore. Would you also tell her that she can always come to court and ask for me if she wants? I'd love for her to do that." The girls giggled again and said, "Yes, sire, we will surely tell her that." "Thank you," Dorkly said as he rolled his eyes and rode on up the beach onto the road toward Longport. There were woods going up the hill on his right all the way from here on to town. He'd never ridden in those woods and wondered what they were like. He knew there was a road meandering up and along the side toward the prison, northwest out of Blue Haven. He knew it would be as quick to ride back that way. He might do that. He probably wouldn't have to see Dupree, though, who had been put back in after helping in the fight with the pirates. Besides, he'd then have to ride back down to the beach, to the south wall, to leave Cheesy at his stable outside the lower gates. He rode on, and he wondered if he'd see Cindy in Longport. So that's the end kind of a short chapter today, and we will continue on with the story next week. Find out what Dorkly decides to do, whether he'll go on up the hill and visit at the prison, or if he'll stay down on the road so that he can more easily leave Cheesy before he goes into court. So we shall see what happens next week, okay? And I will talk to you all then. Bye-bye.